Hi, I'm Chef Leslie Durso. I'm in Ravello, Italy with one of my favorite friends and mentors. This is Ric Scalzo. Ric Scalzo is the founder of Kokora, a brand new company that I can't wait to tell you more about. And he is a medical herbalist. He's an honorary naturopath doctor. His resume goes on and on and on. But today we're in the kitchen in Italy, and so we want to put together a little salad for lunch, and I was hoping you would help.
I am delighted to help. It's great. We have some amazing both nutritional components to it and delicious components and colorful components, so all the qualities of something really beautiful and really tasty and really nutritious.
Well, what do I say? I always say eat the rainbow. And so we've got cannellini beans, white beans that are just so good for you, super high in protein. We've got fresh pomodorini, which means small tomato in Italian. And we've got red and yellow. And to top it off, we've got sun-dried tomatoes. So the combination of the fresh and the sun-dried is something that I really love playing around with flavor-wise. And then I think there's some nutrition benefits for both as well. We've got purple onion, which has medicinal qualities, fresh basil, because we're in Italy, and would it be an Italian recipe without basil? I don't think so. Or oregano, and we're drying dry oregano to offset the fresh basil. So you'll see how we have a lot of different textures happening in this dish. And of course, the star ingredient, it's not anything without really good extra virgin olive oil. And this is grown on the farm, which we're actually staying at.
Exactly.
And so, I can't wait for the world to taste this olive oil. Let's get cooking though.
All right.
Ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it.
Carry on.
All right, so I'm gonna have you start cutting the tomatoes. You're just gonna, I think, maybe quarter these.
Okay.
Do you know how to do that?
Why don't you show me?
Okay, so this is your board. You're gonna take it in half lengthwise and then in half widthwise.
Perfect.
And then, ta-da! Oops.
They look very ripe.
Okay, and then we're just gonna put them in that bowl.
Okay. Would you like me to do all of these?
I would like you to do all of those. We're in Italy. You cannot get enough tomatoes. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna do a fine dice on a purple onion. Rick,
Yeah.
onions have a lot of medicinal qualities, that I know, but do you want to explain some of the best reasons for particularly eating raw onions?
You know, the thing about onions I learned in school is that, I mean, this isn't really a medicinal thing, but it does tend to dispel, you know, just what the unwanted energies. And when you have a cold, an old folklore remedy is to take a raw onion and create a little handkerchief around your neck or a necklace, and wear the onion around so that, you know, it will draw out the toxins and help to recover from a cold very quickly. So that's one of the ways I like to use. And you know, another way we've used it in herb school, in naturopathic school, is to make an onion syrup.
Ooh, tell me about an onion syrup.
Onion syrup is made with, after you let the honey kind of macerate for a while in water, and then you take the onion infused water and add some honey to it.
I'm gonna help you.
You know, it's a very, very powerful medicine, in fact.
So onion and honey, let it sit and steep. And what are the health benefits of that? So then do you eat that? What do you do with that?
You drink the liquid, and the health benefits of it are just to help push a cold through much more quickly, to cut the mucus, and to relieve the inflammation, you know, all, you know, secretory in nature. And so it's very, very, very good. You know, it's particularly a time when you're suffering from a cold or about to suffer from a cold. You feel like a cold's coming on, and you know, you want to kind of knock it out before it really sets in. This is a good remedy. I love onions, and I like the red onions particularly.
Yes. Why do you like the red onions particularly over the yellow or the white?
They're really flavorful. They're a little bit more pungent.
I think they're a little bit more mild.
You think they're mild?
Yeah, like I just chopped that up. I didn't get teary, nothing.
And then there's the Vidalia onions, which is everybody's favorite, right?
Those are so delicious. Well, my favorite onion depends on how I'm using it, because I think there's different purposes for all of them.
Exactly.
Okay, we've done that. Are you ready to assemble?
Yes. Gosh, that was quick.
I know, the salad comes together very, very quickly. All right, we have a beautiful bowl, because again, we're in Ravello. That's what they do here.
All right.
In go our cannellini beans.
Cannellini beans. Why?
Aside
Tell me about cannellini beans. You know, we talked about white beans, and what's the nutritional benefits of why we choose cannellini beans?
Well, there's a ton of protein in them, but I choose cannellini beans because they're delicious. I really love the flavor of cannellini beans.
They look delicious just like that.
Don't they?
Yeah.
I love cannellini beans because they taste amazing. And as a chef, that's very important to me. But they're also very high in protein. And what else do you love about beans?
I don't know. Exactly. They're really high in protein, and
and fiber.
They're really good for, you know, I think the beans are a staple for, you know, people in the longevity zones eat a lot of beans because they help to nourish. They have a lot of nutrition in them other than just protein. And if you look at people in Italy, like there's a blue zone in Acciaroli, there's a blue zone in Sardinia. These are staple ingredients.
Fun fact, of all the blue zones around the entire world, there's only one ingredient that they all eat every single day.
Beans.
It's beans. Okay, so the beans are the highlight.
I might say one other thing, if I can.
Sure.
From a nutritional point of view. Beans,
I'm just gonna eat tomatoes while you say that.
Legumes are one of the interesting foods when your foods are grown regeneratively or regenerative organic. Mm-hmm. They take up the microbes. This soil food web actually manufactures a chemistry called ergothioneine that is taken up by the beans.
Amazing.
And this is an amino acid that is exceptionally good for promoting longevity.
Wow.
So this may be a little secret to unfold in our teaching about certain foods and why certain ingredients or certain nutrients in foods are so beneficial for us.
I love that. I've added the fresh tomatoes and we're gonna add the sun-dried tomatoes. Now, is there a nutrition difference between fresh and sun-dried tomatoes?
And I think in the sun-dried tomatoes, you're concentrating a lot of the flavor, concentrating a lot of the nutrition, and you know, the fiber as well.
I do have a question for you. So when you cook tomatoes, it increases the amount of lycopene that's in them. It's one of the only foods out there that gets more nutritious as it's cooked. But do you get the same benefit when it's being dried?
I think so.
I think so too, right? I'm gonna just keep eating everything. You keep putting it back in the bowl. I'm gonna keep putting it in my mouth. Okay, so we've got fresh tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes, cannellini beans. We're gonna do some raw purple onion.
Right, we talked about the health benefits of onions.
Particularly raw. It definitely is more beneficial when you eat it raw. If you can't handle raw onions, you can cook this down and then add them in as well. We're gonna do dry oregano. Now, I know, me being an Italian American, this is my great grandmother put dry oregano in on everything. And she thought it was one of the healthiest foods too.
It is. I mean, the oils, the naturally occurring oils in the leaf of oregano are very healthy for the immune system. So they're very good to take to help build your resistance. And, you know, I think oregano and a lot of the foods like basil is in front of us as well. They all have really valuable naturally occurring essential oils.
Question, do you get the same oils from having oregano dry as having it fresh?
I think you do, but drying does tend to dissipate. You know, these essential oils are a bit volatile, but I think if you dry it properly, yeah, I think you do.
Okay. I love, as a chef, I love the density of the flavor of the oregano when it's dry. It's really good. And so the basil, we're gonna tear in. And that's not just a Italian grandma thing. There is actual science behind why you want to tear your herbs. And that is that it's breaking it at its weakest spots. And it's when you're tearing the basil in its natural weakest spots, you're allowing the leaf to oxidize less. And so if you ever notice, if you chop up basil with a knife, it turns brown really fast.
So
and starts
often
getting
I see my basil turning brown or black.
So now you're only going to tear it from now on. And we're gonna put a ton of it in there because I love basil.
Who doesn't love basil?
If you don't like basil, you could set this out for like a thyme or Something like that would be really good in this as well. Look at the size of that.
Basil leaves.
I mean, you know you're in Italy when the basil leaves are as big as your head. I mean, gorgeous.
I love it.
Okay, you keep doing that. I'm going to add in some salt and that olive oil. The olive oil is going to be our saucy sauce for this bean dish. I am putting a lot in because it's so good. I drink this.
Now,
like
is that tell me about the bitterness of this oil. Some olive oils can be quite bitter, right?
They can be. This olive oil is very smooth. This is the one that comes from the garden here on property. And it's just this is my go-to just go-to olive oil for cooking anything. It's delicious in salads. It's good for eating. It's got a high smoke point, and so you can cook with it, be safe with it. It's not a medicinal olive oil, but we can talk about that later. Yeah. Okay, but it is so good. All right, I think that's enough basil.
And the flavor is appropriate for this dish.
The flavor is perfect for this dish because it's nice and smooth. So the thing about cooking beans and putting them in a salad is not to stir it that much, because if you stir it, the beans are very fragile and so it'll break. So you just want to kind of fold it, and you just want to do it once. You don't want to stir your beans 50 times. As you notice, we added all the ingredients in, and now we're just folding it together. I mean, look at how colorful and beautiful that is.
It's so amazing, Leslie.
I know, and it smells divine. All right, so there is our beautiful dish. I'm gonna top it off with a little bit more dry oregano because,
Can't get enough dried oregano, right?
Cannot. And let's even do a little bit more fresh basil on top. Or even a big, pretty sprig. How about we do a sprig?
Sounds good. Beautiful.
Summer
Voila.
in a bowl. Nutrition, health in a bowl. Thanks for cooking with me, Ric.
Amazing. Look at how beautiful.
I know.
Such an amazing, easy creation, huh?
Do you think everyone's gonna like it?
Yeah, we're gonna love it.